Lady T, what, T916, what's up? Cutie Pie. What is up, everybody? Jonica? I haven't heard that name before. Hey, hey, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the live. We'll get started in a bit. Wait for some folks to join us. Where have you been? Oh, because I'm 10 minutes late? Yeah, sorry about that. I was prepping. I'm actually doing what I did last week. I'm actually live on TikTok, but I'm also live on Facebook and on YouTube. So I'm multitasking today. I feel like I'm up for it, so this is going to be fun. And for those joining on Facebook and on YouTube, welcome. These lives, I'll get to the live in a bit, but these lives are to ask me anything. You see the questions up there? Ask me anything regarding moving on from an ex, how to get over heartbreak. If you're getting through a divorce and you have questions about post-divorce life, I'm the guy to ask or need relationship questions as well. I'm more than happy to help. So that's what I'm doing here. Ladies, thank you for liking the live. So if this is your first time here, say hello. Be sure to follow. I know I have my normal community of about 50 to 60 people, but it's always nice to see the new folks stop by. So again, these lives are for you, so ask away whatever questions you have regarding getting over an ex, moving on from a breakup, how to move on, what to do when you're by yourself. I am that guy to ask, okay? See, Tony, hello, how do I know if I should let him go? Great question. I mean, let's think of it this way. If you're asking, you're probably already kind of set on the point of moving on from him. And this is what I tell everybody when they're questioning whether they should get a divorce or break up with somebody, right? If you've exhausted all options to save it, and you guys are still at an impasse, and if they're not willing to meet you halfway, if you're the only one fighting for the relationship to work out, those are all signs and huge indicators that it's time to let go. And I know you may love the person, I know you may want it to work, but again, love is not enough as time moves on. There needs to be compromises, there's got to be adjustments. You can't be the same person you were in your 20s that you are in your 30s. People become different people, and it all comes down to just adjusting to what's happening in the relationship and ensuring you're giving it your all, just like your partner is. And if your partner isn't doing that, you've got really nothing to work with. If they're lackadaisical, they're taking you for granted, those are all signs that it's time to go. And you also got to listen to your body. That's one thing people don't really think about. Listen to your body. Like, when you think about your partner, how do you react? Do you get like, oh, I don't want to go home? Or do you still have love? There's empathy. There's hope there. Listen to your body as well. I mean, your body's telling you all these signs whether to move on or not. So you want to think about all that. But again, you can't change anybody. They have to change for themselves. And again, there's only so much you can do to get somebody to meet you and fight for you and to see who you are. Again, if I've answered your question, all I ask for in return is that you follow and tap the screen for me. More hearts, the better. And any tips will be appreciated as well. And if you need to book an appointment with me, I do have one-on-one sessions available. The links are in the chats, both on Facebook, TikTok, and on YouTube. Let's see. How do I let a mental health professional know they're a narcissist? Avoid it. Be honest with them. I mean, if they are a narcissist, the health professional is going to see it. They stand out like a sore thumb. So they'll be able to see that. But again, if you're going to therapy, be 100% transparent on what you're looking for, what you want, and what you hope to achieve out of it. If you're not going to be honest with what you want, you're not going to get the results you need in therapy. So always be honest with yourself. And again, if anybody has questions on TikTok or, Facebook, YouTube, ask away. Let's see. Thank you for the follow as well. Let's see here. Needed to hear that. Tattoo. Hey, you're very welcome. I totally get it. And what's up with my music? Hold up. All right. Is this too loud? Let me know, everybody. Let's see. I think I missed a question up here. Jen. We are still living together, separate 2 years, and he had an affair. I'm terrified to sell. I don't see a question there, but again, if you want some reassurance on where you stand financially, I tell everybody to go get a financial assessment and get a professional to look at your your portfolio to see what options exist. Again, the more questions you get answered, the less stress you'll have. Because change alone is terrifying, right? So again, just ensure that if you have any doubts, look into it with a professional, see what they can offer you to move on. What kind of questions they can answer for you. Let's see here. Hey, Just Jenny, what's up? The music's fine? Okay, thank you. I'm just going to scroll up a little bit here. Hey, MA13, what's going on? Leslie? Is that how? Why does my husband always try to make you jealous with other women, even with my neighbors? I don't know. Has he always been that way? I mean, that's kind of odd. I mean, I can't read his mind or know why he's trying to do that. Maybe he's just trying to get some excitement sparked. Maybe he's just that's his way of like flirting. I don't know. But have you spoken to him about that? I mean, has he always been like that? Or did this just start? Let's see here. I got a question here on Facebook. Jimmy, what's up, man? Hold on. What do we have? Best advice for living in same house for next 6 months while awaiting divorce. 4 young kids. She wants out, not me. The kids are always watching. I get the atmosphere can be a little bit hectic and kind of tension filled. Be on your best behavior, especially if the kids are there. You know, kind of live like roommates if you want to. Kind of have separate schedules. This is what people have shared with me. Like laundry, she has it Monday through Friday, or maybe you have it on weekends. Just do your best to kind of stay away from them and treat it like you're living with a roommate. Like their business is their business. You don't want to get into any confrontational discussions at inappropriate times. Have those boundaries, okay? Have those boundaries, and again, treat it like a roommate situation, okay? Let's see here. Great question, by the way. Thank you. What do we have here? You don't have a name there, but it says, what to do if I broke a no contact and she doesn't look interested? Can I do something to change that? No. I'm going to be that coach, dude. I'm probably one of those rare coaches on TikTok that say an X is an X for a reason and never to go back. I don't like the way no contact is being coached nowadays as like some sort of like false hope or guarantee that the X is going to come back if you stay away for this long amount of time. And I think that's misleading. No contact is supposed to be for you to work on you and to heal. And as you heal and improve, working on yourself, not doing it for them, but you're working on yourself to get better, they may be attracted and come back. And it's on you if you want to allow that back into their life. But again, if you broke no contact, she shows no interest, there's your answer, man. There's nothing you can do to change that. When somebody is checked out, they're done, in my opinion. Focus on you, build up, but you continue to go no contact, but build yourself up, right? You're going to use this heartbreak, this low moment, to be a better man after the fact. You're not going to use this moment to play the victim and say all women ain't shit and just hate everybody and be bitter. No, you're going to learn from this mistake. You're going to learn from this loss and never make those mistakes again moving forward. Does that make any sense? But again, I am not a fan of how no contact kind of implies a false hope that, hey, they'll come back. And in a way, it does work. Let me talk about no contact for a second, because yes, curiosity will get the best of some people. Like if they don't hear from you, it's been a few months and you guys were together for a few years, whatever the case is, they are going to be curious about who you are, what you're doing, if you've moved on, and they are going to reach out. But just because an ex reaches out to you doesn't mean you should get back together. Does that make any sense? I mean, you guys broke up for a reason. Whatever that reason was, you need to remember the reality of why you guys ended and not romanticize the past and only think about the good times. So again, is it really worthwhile to put months and weeks of hard discipline and effort in yourself only to bring a problem back into your life? That doesn't make any sense to me. You see what I mean? Maybe you guys were great. You had one fight and you broke up. Then I can see you guys got out of hand and say, you know what? We got out of hand and we made an emotional decision. So let's talk about things. I get that. I get the absence of each other makes you like long for that person. And you change as an individual. You're a better communicator. You recognize your faults and what went wrong, and you both come back as better people. That makes sense. Like, hey, I'm not the same person as I was before. All the issues we had, they're not going to be a problem. The jealousy, the gaslighting, whatever it is, that's not going to be a problem anymore. If two people come back changed and are willing to fight for each other and meet each other halfway, then that's fine. But if they gaslit you, didn't appreciate you, took advantage of you, lied to you, cheated on you, why the fuck would you want that back into your life? We curse here, by the way. Okay, we curse here. We're all adults here. We're all having adult conversations. So again, when I say don't go back to an ex, I know that's not like an absolute statement, but I want you to do what's best for you. Most people go back to an ex because they're scared of being alone. Everybody I've coached says that at the moment they say I love them, I miss them. I'm like, okay, time out. Do you really love them that much, or are you just scared of being alone? And you'd be surprised how often fear keeps people going back to something that's familiar versus going out into the unknown and seeing what else they can experience. Okay? Or they think this was their one chance at love, which is bullshit. I'm telling you, as a 48-year-old guy, that's bullshit. You will fall in love again. Or you think that no one else will want you, all these other things. Don't think that way. Okay? Don't think that way. Work on yourself. Build yourself back up from this loss. Okay? Lori's asking on Facebook, how do you know when you're healed? When you can think of your ex and not have any resentment, anger, hope, longing come up within your emotions. When you can think of your ex and they're just a memory. When the phone goes off and deep down you're not hoping it's your ex, that's when you know you've moved on. When you can go on a date and not look at that person across the other side of the table and compare them to your ex, that's when you know you're in a good place. That's going to take time. I want everybody to understand it. It's not easy to get over somebody. You guys bonded, you had creative memories, you loved each other at one point, right? Hold on. You loved each other at one point. So it takes time to get over them. I've had people schedule sessions with me asking, how do I forget them? You can't forget them. They were an important part of your life, and you just got to learn how to live without them. But you will think about them. You will dream about them. You'll hear a song that will remind you of them, or a movie, or a meme. It's fine to think about them, but you have to recognize the reality of why you guys broke up. Okay? Remember that reality, because the person they were at the end of the relationship is exactly who they are. Okay? Don't romanticize the beginning. Think about who they were at the end. There you go, Lori. And I don't know if Facebook has any like stars or tips or anything like that, so feel free to tip. Super chats are available on TikTok. On YouTube. So share, show some support, show some love. Lori, thank you so much. Alex, why does my ex-wife get mad at me when she left me? I don't know. Maybe she has a resentment in you, expecting that maybe you would fall apart and fail, and you've actually done well for yourself. Maybe you've moved on and found somebody else. Maybe she expected you to react a certain way and you didn't react that way. You know? Somebody's saying, I disagree, I ended it and I regret it and have done a lot to change myself. Well, again, if you end a relationship, I tell everybody before you make that decision, try to exhaust every option to save it. I don't like people getting divorced, but it happens, and I'm here to guide you through that, right? But exhaust every option to try to save it, and if you're the only one fighting, and the other person's like lazy, making you do all the work, there's your answer. I mean, then you could leave with the peace of mind knowing you tried everything, and you won't have any guilt or resentment or regrets. She calls me an emotionless monster because she didn't. Wow, that's interesting. Liz, thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So because maybe you're not reacting the way she expected, she's calling you an emotionless monster. You know, Alex, you don't have to put up with that. They're an ex-wife. I don't know if you guys have kids or you're co-parenting, but the conversation shouldn't be that way where she's attacking you or insulting you. You have boundaries. All the access they had to you is now gone, so you can treat them like another person, right? Say, no, I don't have to tolerate that shit, is what you can say. But don't curse, but you know what I'm saying. Stand up for yourself. You don't have to put up with that. That is verbal abuse. Thank you for saying that, Lori. Oh my God. Sam, knock that off. Hold on, I forget that it's funny, I go live on all these platforms and YouTube is the one that has like the most, how do you say, spammers. Let's see. Again, if this is your first time here, hello everybody, welcome to live. My name is Rudy. I go by Rude Advice, and I help people move on from breakups, and I help people with post-divorce life adjustments, and also give relationship advice. I got divorced in 2016. I know what it's like to see a marriage fail, especially when you were the one at fault. But I've learned from my mistakes. I've gone to therapy, I've gone to counseling, and my life is totally transformed for the better after the fact. And the ex-wife and I are fantastic as far as having an amazing co-parenting relationship. I had a successful dating life, and I found love 5 years after my divorce and got married again 8 years later. So I've always said, if you're going to listen to anybody on TikTok as far as advice goes, you want to ensure they've been there and done that, they've lost everything, and they've built their life back up, because that shows that their advice is a reflection that it works. So again, that's what I do. These lives are for you, so ask any questions you like. I also offer coaching sessions. The link is in both chats. In TikTok, you'll see the link on my main profile, my Stanster link. I have sessions available if you want to book and talk to me. You helped me so much the other day. Thank you. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you so much. I'm going to pin that comment right there so everybody can see. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much. And Laura, you're welcome. Yeah, don't play those games, Alex. Marie, my ex broke up with me for her mental health, okay? But she says we can see in a few months. I am not a fan of waiting around for anybody, because I hate to be, I don't want to sound cynical, but I'm just going to be honest with everybody. When most people break up because they need space or they need time away or for mental health, it usually is a nice way of saying, I'm done with you. I want to go explore other options, but I don't want to break your heart. Now, for all I know, she does have mental health issues, right? Or he does. But I'm not a fan of waiting for somebody. I mean, it's your call, but I'm not a fan, because there's no guarantee, even if they get the help, they're going to be there waiting for you. But good for her for moving on and getting the help that they need, okay? Thank you, Lori. I remember, okay, she said, I don't feel the same way, and we broke up, but a day before she told me, she said she loved me and missed me. That's just confusing. She's hot one way, she's hot and cold. That can be very misleading, and that can be very manipulative, man. Again, people, if she's done this before, and again, you don't have a name, I think it's a flag icon. The best indicator for future behavior is past behavior. Okay, so once they've proven to you who they are, always expect that person to always be there, okay? Medea, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the heart. I really do appreciate that. And again, Facebook, YouTube, if you have any questions, ask away. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Zamora, my boyfriend is helping out a lady friend who has cancer, okay? And I just don't know how to deal with it. What do you mean? Are you jealous that he's helping somebody? I mean, good for him for helping somebody in need. I don't know what stage they are, but I've had family members die of cancer. I know that can be a horrible, horrible thing. But what do you mean you can't handle it? Is it the time away that they're investing in this person? I mean, who's this person, and what exactly bothers you about this? Cindy, how do I get past him leaving me on my birthday? What an asshole, I'm sorry. After I found out about him cheating. I mean, again, him choosing to leave on your birthday says a lot about him. That shows that he was very inconsiderate about how you would feel, and he was probably purposely done that way to really hurt you. So again, remember that action. I mean, because think about it, he could have told you at any time, right? But he chose your birthday, hoping that you would ruin your birthday and ruin any future birthdays moving forward. Don't give him that satisfaction. Hey, Claudia, good to see you. She's got cancer. You shouldn't be jealous if that's solved the case. I know that there's something more to that. You don't know if he's telling the truth about helping a woman who has cancer? Like, do you know this individual? Is it a random woman, or, I mean, call me insane, but again, if anybody has cancer, I'm helping a family member, like an immediate family member, not a stranger. They live in the same house. Okay. That is just getting more and more complex here. So tell you what, Mara, just schedule some time with me, book a session so we can go ahead and talk things out, okay? That is so interesting. Let me turn this down a little bit. I got a question on Facebook, everybody. Hold up. How do I deal with a man who likes to play childish mind games? You don't. You know what? You know the great thing about that is, you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to. Who says you have to? We don't. There you go. And again, set your boundary. I don't know how long you've been with this guy, but just say, hey, look, I'm not down for this, and I'm too old, whatever. It's exhausting. I don't want to put up with this. It's not for me. And most people who act that way, is it Maui? Most people who act that way, it's because that's all they know. That's the type of relationship they're used to having. And again, they're bringing that on board with you. That doesn't mean you have to tolerate that, okay? Go back over here real quick on TikTok. I'll get to everybody in a bit. 62 and, okay? She asked for a divorce with no explanation. Took me 20 months to move on. I'm better for it. Well, good for you. I'm sorry about that, man. I mean, I know a lot of times we don't get the closure that we're looking for, but I always tell people there were always signs in the relationship, right? Maybe no one wanted to admit it, but there's always signs that a relationship is kind of going wayward and people are growing apart. And when, again, things just don't happen out of nowhere. When a woman asks for a divorce, I promise you, she's been thinking about that for at least 2 to 3 years. And she's been planning and putting things together, trying to get things to work, and finally she made up her mind. So again, it didn't just happen out of nowhere. A man doesn't just leave you because he's out of the blue. Things have been building up. But I'm glad you're in a better place. Good for you, man. Back to Facebook over here. YouTube. I am still hurt after a year. Over a year, okay, broke up with me out of the blue, basically because I put on weight. I'm sorry. And I got made redundant and didn't get a new job enough. Well, you don't need that person in your life because, again, relationships, marriages, there's going to be moments where things don't go your way. You're going to get fired. There's going to be health issues that come up that can cause people to gain weight or lose weight and not look the same that they did when you first met. I mean, that's just life, right? And if you're with somebody who is going to ridicule you for gaining some weight and maybe being at a low moment, you don't need that piece of shit in your life. Okay, you need somebody that's going to be with you through thick and thin. So again, this person wasn't for you, and I'm sorry you went through that, okay? But there's somebody out there that's going to support you through those low moments. So build yourself up. This person doesn't set your value, and build yourself up from this, okay? Let's see here, going on. Thank you, Mara. Is it Aiden? Again, these names, I'm sorry. I tried to fix my ex-narcissist ex-girlfriend, but failed. That's the problem. I'm just going to call you Aiden. You can't fix a narcissist. No matter how good of a man you think you are and try to convince them that, hey, look, I'm a good man, that you can't change them. Again, if she's actually diagnosed with MPD, because they are wired differently than you and I. You can't fix them. They can't fix themselves. There's no medication. There's nothing you can do to fix a narcissist, okay? And I also want you to take this as a big lesson, man. You can't go into people's lives and be a savior and think you can change them to be a better person. That's not on you. The onus is not on you. We're all adults here. Everybody needs to take accountability and fix their damn selves, all right? If they have trauma, PTSD, we all had some bad childhoods, I get that, but if they're using that as an out or an excuse to treat you like shit, you don't have to put up with that. I mean, if they're going on their own to get support and therapy and all that, we can support them because they're doing it, but it's not our job to fix anybody. So take this as a lesson. I mean that. Don't try to fix anybody. Thank you, J. Mars. Again, I'm blunt. That's why I go by rude advice, because I don't know any other way but to be blunt and honest, okay? So when I'm giving you the advice, I'm not being mean because I made a lot of these mistakes myself. It's just the best way I know how to tell you. I'm telling you what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I saw the red flags, but thought you would change. Dude, I've made that mistake too. I've had nothing but shit men. Well, I'm a good guy. I'm gonna show these women that I'm a gentleman. It doesn't work out. No matter what you do, that doesn't work out. I'm going to go back over here to Facebook. It said, Melina, how do I move on from a 10-year relationship when he left me to be single and explore his options? He tried to stay friends with benefits, but I cut him off. Good for you. Good for you. Because that's a one-sided manipulative relationship, especially if you're wanting more than he's willing to give. So good for you for cutting him off. But struggling to move on. Well, I don't know how long it's been, Melina, but again, give yourself some time. It's 10 years. So many of you are too hard on yourself thinking you should move on fast, but it's when you've been with somebody for 10, 15, 20 years. Even a couple years is a long time, okay? So give yourself some grace. Be patient with this. It's going to take time. The best thing you did was cut him off. So again, I'm proud of you for doing that. But delete all the photos, declutter your home, cleanse it. Anything that belongs to him, get rid of it. Okay, and remember what he did. Thank you, Jenny, for the tip. Thank you so much. He left you. Thank you so much. He left you to be single. That shows what his priorities are. You're not that. Focus on that reality and move on for yourself. Okay. And this is where especially after 10 years, you have to find your identity again. And that's what many of you struggle with. You don't know what your identity is. Who am I? Because you don't know who you are without that person next to you. And I get that void. I get that fear. I get that loneliness. It's temporary, but this is where you have to find you. You, Melina, existed before this guy showed up in your life. You need to rediscover her. What did she like to do for fun? What were her interests? What friend group does she hang out with? What are things that you've always wanted to do and didn't have time to? What brings you joy? You have to do that. You have to do that. But the more time and space you get away from your ex, the faster you will heal. So block them on social media. Refresh your feeds on this. Goes for anybody going through a heartbreak. Real quick, refresh your feeds and delete anything that you're looking at before, and look for content that's uplifting, that's going to give you tips. Listen to some audiobooks on Audible. Listen to some podcasts like mine, or watch my channel for tips. Get a coach. Do things that are going to help you move on. Okay, that's how you move on. It's not going to be easy. Be patient with that, but you need to do that. It's not going to happen just with you sitting on your ass not doing anything. Okay? Reach out to me, Melina, if you want to talk, all right? But good question. Going back to TikTok. Again, I'm going back and forth, so again, if I don't get to your question, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just doing my best to juggle here, okay? Be sure to subscribe and follow. Is it true they always come back? Sunset Lover. Yes and no, but not in the way you think. Like, a lot of times they'll come back because the grass wasn't greener on the other side. And they thought it would be, right? So maybe they're going to go back to you. Maybe they were incredibly horrible, a horrible person. Maybe they found God, went to therapy, and they're reaching back to you. Not to get back with you, but to say, I'm sorry. That happens as well. A lot of times they love you, but they're not in love with you. And they feel incredibly guilty for leaving you. So they may check up on you to see how you're doing. That doesn't mean they want to get back with you. They just want to be sure you're okay. So again, if they come back, it's most of the time at the most convenient moment when you're actually doing good. And most of y'all can probably relate to this, right? You're doing great. You're moving on. You're finally finding yourself. Then you get the text, hey. And that's where you have to set that boundary. Is it worth it to go back down that road after I've done so much work? Put all this momentum in myself to go back to square one. So again, they do, but not in the context that you think sometimes. Sorry, 1 second. It's been 6 months. I don't think so. No, I mean, I promise you, if you're welcome. And again, I'm here to help. And that's why I tell everybody to block their ex on social media, because let's say it's been 6 months since you've heard from them, right? But I promise you, based on some clients and my own personal experience, the moment you move on and maybe dating and you start posting photos of you and your new partner, they come back and say, hey, they see that somebody's come into your life and they're pulling you away from them. They see that as a threat. So be cautious of that. Let's see here. I don't have any advice dealing with toxic parents. I'm sorry, that kind of goes outside the relationship space, so I can't help you with that. I'm so sorry. Ashley, I'm gonna hear on Facebook. I've been married to my husband for almost 6 years. For the first 2 years, he came around my family. Then he stopped because he thinks I talk about him to my family, and he cheated on me once. It hurts me that he doesn't want to go with me or at any of my family functions. What do I do? My family has never done anything to him. So it's more or less like he thinks that the impression or the people see him in a negative light. He thinks that you told people that he cheated, and he doesn't like the ridicule, the faces. I mean, is it anything outside of that? Is there anything more to that, Ashley? Because again, I get your position, because now you're going to functions, and who likes to go to functions when you're married without your spouse? Because everyone's going to be asking questions. Where's he at? I bet they're fighting, etc. Then people start being chismosas, gossiping. I'm sorry. So is there more to it than just that? I mean, if you had a talk with him this evening and said, hey, I really want you to be part of my family. They're your in-laws. They talk about you. We love you. can you make some effort to do this? What would he say? Put it all on the table. Sometimes you have to have that honest conversation. Those honest, raw, difficult conversations to get an answer. Okay? Somebody's saying here on TikTok that that's an excuse, he doesn't like your family. I hope that's not the case. I mean, people, if you get married, the person you marry, her or his family is now yours. You can't put that barrier and that strain on your spouse, because you're just supposed to be married for life. And if you're going to be like fighting for every birthday, Easter, holiday, New Year's, you're going to hate the holidays moving forward, because every holiday there's going to be a big fight. Don't do that. Let's see here. Do you feel any animosity towards your ex now? Which one? There's my ex-wife, and there's tons of exes when I was single, but no. My ex-wife and I are great. We're great friends. We're actually, believe it or not, our relationship got better after the divorce, because we were no longer husband and wife. We were just co-parents. We're to this day, we get along great. Any of my other exes, even the ones that cheated on me, no. It didn't work out, and I blame myself for putting myself in those situations, because all the red flags were obvious, but many of these women were incredibly beautiful, and I'm an idiot, right, at the time, and I put looks above everything else. So when it happened, I was hurt, but looking back and learning from the experience, I knew they were bad. So who do I have to blame? I can't blame them, I blame myself. But yeah, guys are stupid that way. We'll put like looks. Women do the same thing too. If a guy's really hot, good looking, everybody has standards, but the moment you meet somebody that's incredibly hot, you tend to throw them out the door. Okay, Ashley says, yes, I tell him that all the time. He said yes to me, that it's not my family, it's me. My husband, let's see. My husband just thinks I talk shit about him. Why would he think that? Ashley, I'm going to ask this hypothetically to play devil's advocate here. Did you at one point talk shit to other people about him, and now he thinks you do it consistently? Bro, we are texting right now. I just think it's impossible for us, but she was so perfect. I'm confused. Schedule some time with me. I don't know your name, but let's talk. Go to my TikTok bio. You'll see a Stan Store link. Click on that link and book a session with me. Like 30 minutes. I just want to talk to you and hear things out, okay? Hey, Victoria, thank you so much. I like that one. I have never seen that one. Thank you so much, Victoria, for the tip. Why do I want him to want me? It's one of my favorite songs. I want you to want me. He treated me so horribly. Maybe you saw potential in him. Maybe he was physically your type. Maybe the version you met when you first started dating was who you fell in love with. And again, I tell everybody, when you're going to be dating, the first 3 months of a relationship are always going to be the best, and they're always giving you the best version of themselves. So maybe that's who you fell in love with, and when the real person came out, you're longing for that first person that you met. It could be a number of those things. Someone says, Patty, sorry, do you think it's important for women to have friends to talk about relationships? I think it's important for everybody to have friends, but I think when it comes, and again, I'm divorced, right? But I remarried. But a big mistake people make, I feel, when you're in a relationship is that you seek out advice to people who have horrible relationships. Like if your friends, every single one of them has had shit relationships and chosen horrible people, why would you want to get advice from them? You know, think about it like that. But if you're married, I'm a firm believer that your business is your business. And if you need to confide to anybody, do it with a counselor or a therapist. Keep your business to yourself, because you'd be surprised how many of your friends will maybe use that against you to cheat on your wife or husband. You know how many clients, you have any idea how many clients that I've helped or speak to whose best friend took their husband or wife? Do you have any idea how often that happens? Or your sibling took your husband or wife? It happens more often than you think. And I'm not saying I wish that upon anybody, of course not. But again, you'd be surprised. You may be miserable, but there's so many people that are envious of what you have and will do what they can to slowly sabotage it to take it. So get advice from a professional, or maybe one friend that you trust. Never confide to somebody of the opposite sex at work, because that's how affairs start. You get validation from somebody listening to you for the first time ever, and then you end up fucking behind a Dodge Ram, or a Ford F-150. So don't confide to anybody at work. Don't do that. Talk to somebody that you trust. One person, because you'd be surprised how gossipy people are as well. Going back over here. Ashley, I agree with you on that. My friend's best friend cheated on her with her husband. You see, there you go. Thank you for proving my point. I mean, it's heartbreaking, but it happens more often than you think. And if you're ever curious about cheating, it's always proximity. It's always somebody that they spend a lot of time with. A friend at work, a sibling, a neighbor, your best friend, somebody. All right? Yeah, Erica, it is sad, but I'm sure as you get older, you'll see people that have gone through that. Maybe you do know somebody already. Gabriella, I am divorcing a narcissist. Okay, good for you. I don't know where to start. I feel like she is out to get me and leaving me with nothing at all. Thank you. I can't really give legal advice. That's not really my wheelhouse, but you have to understand a narcissist, how they're wired is to hurt you. They feel better for hurting you. Right? They'll say things to get under your skin, and it's on you, Gabriella, to learn to adjust to that. You have to do like verbal judo. If you want to look that up, that's a good kind of course to study about not letting things hit you. But again, her goal is to hurt you and to piss you off, to ruin your day, to send you that text, to ruin everything about what you're doing, okay? So don't allow that to happen. I know it's easier said than done, but on my podcast, the Rude Advice podcast, I interviewed somebody with NPD. And he said the best book on how to handle or deal with a narcissist is called Disarming the Narcissist. Okay, I have no ties to this book. I don't get any royalties, but read that book on Audible, download it, and that'll help you, all right? Now back to TikTok. Most women take half. Well, yeah, I mean, my ex-wife took half, I took half. That's normally how it goes. Hey, Emily, good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you. How you been? El Primo? What's going on? Okay, hold up. Navy brat turned Army vet. Wow, okay. Why would my ex suddenly hate me just because he says I'm annoying? Any suggestions? Okay, this is an ex. Did he hate you when you were dating or hate you post-breakup? I mean, again, when it comes to breakups, I'm not a fan of still talking to an ex, being friends with an ex. I think that's incredibly detrimental to your health, mental well-being, and moving on. Because usually in those arrangements, it's always one person wanting more than the other one's willing to give. And the other person who broke up with you is always keeping you aside because, again, they love that companionship and they love how you make them feel. They miss how you make them feel, they don't miss you. So, again, it could be a reaction of how you handled the breakup. It could be maybe you're not as heartbroken. I don't know. I mean, what have you done that said, hey, I find that annoying? I'm not validating what he's saying, but I'm saying maybe you shouldn't be friends because emotions are still up there. You were together 18 years. Okay, do you have kids? A bro, chill, what now? Stay single, brothers, protect your peace. I don't think it's worth it anymore. No, I'm not about that shit, no. Look, if you want to be alone, then be alone. But humans are wired to have companions, to share experiences. I forget the name of the book, but that book, the guy, he said, it's out in the wild. You guys know that story? I read it many years ago, but the guy gave up everything to go live in the wilderness. They made a movie out of it. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know. Well, he died in the wilderness, right? But in his journal, he says that joy is best shared with somebody. If you want to feel joy and you want to feel love, it's always best when you're sharing it with somebody else, like a moment. I don't think you should stay single because it's not worth it. I think we should all be very accountable for who we allow in our life. I was out there dating for 5 years after my divorce. I know for a fact the dating world is shit. There's a lot of people out there who need to be in therapy and who shouldn't be dating. A lot of people are looking for distractions and looking to use other people to get in your pants. Yeah, there's a lot of shit people out there, and I think we need to be very, very careful with who we let into our space to protect our peace, right? Stay away from the drama people, stay away from all the red flags. I think we just need to be very cautious with our space. But I don't believe staying single just to say the hell with women, no. There's a lot of good women out there. There's a lot of great men out there. All right? And what we see on social media is just the bad ones. Don't try to paint all women in a negative light based on what you've seen or what you've experienced. I'm not denying your experience, but I'm saying there's great people out there. A lot of good men, a lot of great women. Hey, Troy, what's up? How's it going? Can't say just sending. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate the support. Rosalinda, let's see. The grass is always greener on the other side. Is that what you meant to say? The grass is always greener on the other side. Don't get to the point where you are not able to communicate with your partner, and if you are at that point, then you need help. Then you need help, but from a friend. Well, I mean, the grass is greener, in my opinion, where you water it. If you water the grass, it's always going to be greener, right? Take care of your grass. Ashley's asking on Facebook, once a cheater, is it true? Once a cheater, always a cheater? No. A person can change. I mean, we've seen it all the time. There's like ex-bank robbers. There's like criminals, right, who turn their lives around. They find God and become motivational speakers. A person can change. A person who's addicted to a vice can break that vice and change. And a person can change, right? So it's not true, not always a cheater. Hey, what's going on? Now going back to TikTok. Emily, thank you so much. A girl would take 3 days to reply. Is that a red flag? I just don't think she's into you if it's taking 3 days. Try not to spam the chat, man. I'm doing my best to get to as many people as I can. I'm live on 3 platforms, all right? It's hard to date Rudy when you're 58. I know. I know the amount of people who are available at that moment are kind of few and far between, but I'm sure there's some people out there. And again, I've always the best relationships I've seen that flourish are the people who aren't looking for somebody. They're happy with their life. They're happy with what they're doing. They're happy with everything going on in their life. And then somebody comes along and just makes them happier. But if you're seeking happiness because you're miserable inside, you're always setting yourself up for failure. What 3 platforms do you use for live? I'm watching you on TikTok. I'm on YouTube and Facebook. I'm trying to expand my platforms here. And also, everybody, again, appointments are available if you want to schedule one-on-one with me for just a coach-up session. The link is on the link here in the chat group here on Facebook and here on TikTok. The link is on my main profile. You can book a 30-minute session, you can book an hour session, or if you don't want to talk, you can just send me a question. And send me as much information as you can, and I'll respond with a video, like a 10-minute video. 75 or 150, and they all have payment plans for up to 6 months. So you can pay like $25 a month if you want. Is it Yvette? Hi, it's been 9 days since my breakup. I want to reach out to... No, don't do that. Don't. Focus on... I don't know why you guys broke up, the circumstances, but don't reach out. Focus on you. And again, I do have a guide that's free. 5 reasons why you can't get over your ex with solutions. The link is also on my store, so you can download that for free. Okay? I have a question here on Facebook. How do you know when you find the right one? I don't have an answer for that because I found the right one and didn't know it. That was on me. But if someone comes into your life celebrating your passions, they're like your cheerleader, your best cheerleader. They're critical of you, so they call you out when they need to call you out, but they're doing it because they want the best for you. If they love you for who you are, not coming in with all these contingencies, I think that's a wonderful sign. And if they're taking you at your highs, your best moments, and your lows, that's also very important as well. Okay, going back to TikTok. Bro, I know it's my fault. It doesn't feel the same. Don't look, again, I don't know your name, but I'm asking you to book a session with me so we can talk it out. I know this just happened. I can see that you're hurting, but let's talk it out, man. Just book a session with me. Are you live every day? Because I haven't seen you in a week here. I was live yesterday. I wasn't live on Tuesday, but I was live Monday, yesterday, and today. Thank you for the follows, everybody. I appreciate that. He said he's been wanting to break up, wants to focus on work and health, and is better off alone. Okay. Well, I mean, you have a clear answer there on why he wants to leave. I mean, most people don't get closure, but he's pretty definitive on what he's looking for. So how does that make you feel? I just follow you for the first time watching. Oh, thank you for the follow. Is it Santana? Well, I missed you. I missed you too, Lori. Thank you. Let me just, is it Barbie Girl? Advice for single for the first time since I was 19 after being in a 24-year relationship. Oh my God, that's like a lifetime. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with what you want, and don't go out dating until you're ready. As I said earlier, the dating world is incredibly toxic. There's a lot of people out there who shouldn't be dating and who need to be in therapy or trying to get over their ex or using people as distractions or just using you for sex. So be very careful when you go out there. When you're ready, keep your expectations at a minimal, but also go out there and knowing what you want, and don't compromise your standards or your needs. If you want a date to get married again, go look for that. And be very cautious with who you let into your life, because I say this all the time. I used to know a lot of guys in the single space who could play the game, play a role. They can be the Christian guy, they could be the God-fearing guy, the conservative guy, the liberal guy. They can play any role they needed to get in your pants. So be careful with that. Take the time to get to know somebody. Be as patient as you want. If you feel pressured in any way, don't do it. Okay? So just be very careful with that. Ashley, the link is on my stand store. Let me put the link here real quick. 30 minutes is $75, and an hour is $150, but you can break up the payment plans to up to 6 months or more. So you can break it up to like $20 a month. You're very welcome. Unforgettable Thea. Okay, this guy pulled back after expressing possessiveness towards me. What do I do? Okay, so he was expressing possessiveness. Like, what do you mean? Just like jealousy, didn't want you to go anywhere? I mean, that's not a good thing. And if he pulled back, I'd let him continue to go back. I would need more information on that. Dating feels hopeless, honestly. I get it. I mean, I had tons of disappointments there. Is it? I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. But like I said, the best position you can put yourself in when you're going out dating is to not look for happiness. You got to be happy with yourself. Love who you are. Love everything about you. That way, you are set. You're not codependent on somebody bringing you happiness. And I tell everybody, keep your expectations at a minimal when you first meet somebody, because you don't know who they are. The first 3 months are always going to be great because you're giving each other the best version of yourselves. So again, don't put too much value in the first 3 months. After that, the dopamine, the serotonin, and the oxytocin, the pleasure chemicals in your head, it starts to diminish, and then that's when the real person, the real yous, if I can use that word, yous, surface. And that's when you guys see if this is going to have any legs. But I've always said, if you really want to know if somebody's into you, you want to test the relationship and not create a test. But when things go bad, you want to see how they react. Because if they're one to just jet and leave you hopelessly heartbroken, whatever the case is, or don't want to deal or talk through a hard discussion, that's saying a lot about them. Thank you. Well, thank you for joining. Be sure to follow. Okay, I hope you find the information insightful. And I've been on Facebook for a while, so I definitely need to do these more. I'm live every day on TikTok, and I need to be well balanced to go live on all the platforms here. I've already answered that question. I can't pronounce your name, I'm sorry, but I've already answered that question. Dating apps aren't for me. Where should I go to meet somebody in person? I would meet people at bars. If you're not the drinking type, I'd say bike clubs, the gym. Look, after a breakup, if you're looking to meet people that you would be interested in, go to places where your passions excel. If you love comic books, go to comic book stores. Go to comic book conventions. If you love dancing, go to a dance school, right? If you love sports, maybe join a team, the work softball team. The important thing is to go out there and meet people, and then y'all associate and meet their friends, and that's how people meet people. That's how we did it back in the old school days. Without apps, you went and met people, you met their friends, and things happened. So, but go to places that you love. Live concerts. comedy shows, a cover band. Go check out a Depeche Mode cover band somewhere. Do something that brings you joy. Whatever's fun for you. Go do that. Rudy, do you believe that you have to have a lot in common for a relationship to last? I think you both have to be on a certain wavelength. I mean, if you're emotionally intelligent and the other person's toxic, that's not going to work, right? If you're an achiever, a go-getter, and want to make something of yourself, maybe start a business, and the other person is lackadaisical, doesn't want to do that, that could be conflicting, right? So you need to find somebody that has the same ideals as you. You don't have to have it checkpoint, checkbox for every checkbox, but it's good to have that. I always say, date a woman who loves heavy metal and horror movies, or alternative music. They're the best. How's it going? Yo. That's you? Okay, there you go. Then you're ahead of the curve. Again, everybody on YouTube or Facebook, if you have a question, just put it in the chats. I'll be more than happy to help you. I'm just gonna say happy birthday to your brother. I'm not gonna say that name. Andrew Gibson, how do I stop caring for somebody I had so much care for 3 years? Well, look, that's another misconception. Just because a relationship ended doesn't mean the love that you have for them immediately dies. It's going to be part of you for a while, okay? But again, you have to recognize that the relationship's over. It's okay to care for them. Hey, I wish you the best, but you guys are no longer together. Again, just because it's over doesn't mean that you should have all the emotions that you have for them that are wiped away. And I like using this comparison. I mean, it may be a little hard for people to hear, but a divorce or the end of a relationship is very comparable to a funeral. If you've been to a funeral with an immediate family member, you know how hard it is to plan it. But just because they're in the ground doesn't mean you should immediately feel better. You have to learn how to live without them. Same thing with a relationship. Just because you guys are over, you have to learn how to live without them and find yourself again, find a new normal, a new routine. And that can take time. But there's nothing wrong with caring for somebody. Hey, Mamacita, what's up? Michelle's asking, on YouTube, do you have any advice on how to set boundaries in a relationship with a narcissist? Be very careful with that. I don't know if you're married or you're looking to be in a long-term relationship with a narcissist. I have like 117 people here on TikTok, and they'll thank you, Mamacita. They'll all tell you you don't want to be in a relationship with a narcissist. They always end horribly bad. But as far as boundaries, again, their main goal is to make themselves feel better and to bring you down. And I don't know how sustainable that is. As much as you love them, they're not going to change because that's who they are. But just if it ever gets to a point where you feel disrespected, set those boundaries and have respect for yourself. I hope that answers your question. Why do guys play games and lie about having a girlfriend? Because they want to have sex with you, that's why. That's the honest truth. I'm a dude, I have no reason to lie to you. They're lying because they want to get something from you, and it usually is get in your pants. Vet them out, talk to them, don't fall for the games or the looks, hear them out. And their true colors will show. But again, stay away from guys who play those games or lie. I'll go back to being very selective with who you allow into your life. Marlene. No, I'm used to Mamacita already. And again, with my attention span, if I see the name, I'm going to say that. So. Let's see. What's something to do at night that you don't think about them? Again, I don't know what you like to do for fun, but just some ideas that I did. I played video games. I played like an hour of like Resident Evil or something. Or I watched a tutorial on YouTube and learned a new skill. I wanted to learn at the time, this is back in 2016, how to edit videos and how to record and post on YouTube. And I would watch tutorials. I would learn something. I would read a book. And if you're like me, my mind can go 100 miles an hour, and I need to create this product, or at least get affiliated with somebody. But at night, I had a difficult time sleeping. So what I did is I got some melatonin. That's great, right? But I got a sleep mask, those masks that you wear at night, and I got a mask with Bluetooth speakers. And what always calms me down with my ADHD brain is the sound of rain and thunder. So I would go to YouTube and find like a 10-hour video and play that. And believe it or not, that sound shut my mind up, and I went straight to sleep. So try that out. I don't know, if some people it's the ocean, some people it's the jungle. You know, whatever sounds calm you down, try that out. But again, use that time positive. And I want to be clear. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to cry. You're going to have those moments. So if you have to cry, let it out. That's fine. But that's part of the healing process, okay? Yes, and that was a wonderful idea. It worked for me so well. Oh, you're using it too? I'm glad. Again, I've been using it for a long time now. I need to come up with like my own mask, like root advice mask, and sell it. Okay, man. Just whenever you can, I'd be more than happy to help you. But again, if you want to, download the guide. It's free. Read it. I have solutions with that guide as well, and it'll give you some tips. Hey, Esmeralda, how you doing? And Mama Sita, thank you for the tips as well. I have a question here. Hold up. Rami, what to feel? I'm reading this verbatim. So, what do you feel about being married 3 times? I'm bringing this up because I love them, but I feel like they're not my person. Help. Well, there's your answer. If you feel that this is not your person, then don't pursue the relationship. Be honest with yourself. I think a lot of people need to be honest with themselves, and a lot of people aren't. I mean, I know you don't want to hurt them, whatever the case is, but if you feel this is not your person, then don't do it. And married 3 times, that is kind of like a red flag. I mean, why does this person have a dependency to get married? Why didn't the other marriages work? His exes couldn't be all crazy, right? He or she is the common denominator and all that. So I'd be very cautious with that. Look at the signs, man. Don't ignore them. Okay, back to TikTok. Why do exes ignore you? Is that the question? They're doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, when you break up with somebody, they have no obligation to keep posted, to keep you as a friend, or hang out with you, give you updates about their life. They're supposed to move on. They're not supposed to be friends. That's not healthy. Thinking about my ex intimate with somebody else makes me feel sick. Well, that's the thing, man. I mean, look, to be blunt, everyone's going to move on. Everybody moves on. That happens. You will move on and you will have another girlfriend in your life. But right now, you can't be thinking about those horrible thoughts. That's just hurting you. You're creating your own hell in prison up here by thinking about shit like that when you shouldn't be doing that. So the anger, the sickness you feel is self-inflicted. You see how that works? You're hurting yourself. So you got to do your best and not think about that. That thought comes into your head, get up, play an uplifting music, like go on Spotify and create an uplifting, make me feel better mix, whatever your favorite songs are, right? Go watch a comedy, get out of the house, go for a walk. But you can't be ruminating on a thought because you're only hurting yourself. You're very welcome. What about an ex that is friends with every ex? What do you think? Oh, God. I don't see the point in that. And just my own personal experience, like when I was single, I was friends with a lot of my female exes, and we all still hooked up. When they weren't dating and I wasn't dating somebody, we still hooked up. And even sometimes we would. I mean, it's just, I'm not a fan of that. I am not a fan of that whatsoever. Because again, I'm also about respect. So if I'm dating somebody who has a lot of exes and they're friends with them, right? Is she telling these guys about us? Is she confiding in these guys with us? I'm like, no. That's not a good sign. And those usually end bad. Chandel, why would a guy pretend to be either their girlfriend talking, but it's really them messaging? Yeah, Esmeralda, yeah, more than likely, definitely. Melissa, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Let me read that again. Why would a guy pretend to be either their girlfriend talking, but it's really them messaging? I think I'm lost in that question. Can you maybe rephrase that? Sierra, why did he pull back when I finally showed interest after he acted interested for weeks? It's tough for me to answer that because I don't know. I just know that most people, once you show interest, it could be maybe the hunt is over. And I know that's very idiotic, but I'm just kind of sharing with you what people have shared with me. Maybe he got what he wanted, sex, and just now he's gone. It's all about the pursuit. I mean, if somebody is very insistent about showing interest in you, and when you finally show that interest, they jet, it can be a number of things. I've heard women tell me that he ended up being married, right? Or you were a rebound. I mean, there's many different reasons why. And again, I'll throw that question out there. If you were dating somebody and they immediately after you showed interest left you, what was the reason? He was pretending to be his own girlfriend? She took too long. You think so? I guess that's kind of valid. So he was What? He was. Wait. Hold up. Why would a guy pretend to either be their girlfriend talking when it's really them? Oh, that hurts my brain. So he was pretending to be his own girlfriend? I don't know. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. That's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. Ashley, hold on. We got a question on Facebook. Is it okay for a married man to have female friends? As long as there's boundaries and he doesn't confide, intimate things with them. If you ask me, can a man and woman be friends? I'm going to tell you no, because if there's attraction involved, they're more than likely they're going to hook up. I know that doesn't speak for everybody, but that's just based on my experience and just what people have shared with me. There has to be some respect and boundaries that they would never cross over. And will they do it? It's tough to say. I think that's more of like a case-by-case basis. Dude, again, I know you can't move on from her right now, but right now it sounds like you just broke up with her, so you're still in the weeds of the breakup, and what you're feeling is normal. It sounds like you're panicking because of all the comments you're posting. I'm going to urge you to just kind of process this, man. Go to the gym, do something to let out that anxiety. Okay, but there's nothing that you can do now. Okay, you broke up for some reason. I don't know all the details, but when we talk, let me know. Emily, thank you for rephrasing. Thank you for renewing the subscription. PA, there are too many immature men out there. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, like I said, I think the dating pool out there is bad for both men and women. For as many immature guys out there, there's many women that I ran across that had a number of guys that they had on the roster. There was the guy with the devil dick, the guy who took them to concerts, the guy who bought them purses, the Louis Vuittons, the guy who would make them laugh, the guy who was a therapist. So I think everybody has problems out there. Why after a fight they block you? I think that's just a reactionary thing. They're mad. They don't want to see you. They don't want to talk to you. Again, that's like it's kind of like you making a decision when you're at an emotional high. It's always going to be the wrong decision. So more than likely they will unblock you in time. Thank you for doing this. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to juggle both platforms, all three, so I'm doing my best. Build an empire. Men have more value as they get older. dating is better than high school. Yeah, I can attest to that. I mean, I think us guys, we get more attractive as we get older. I don't want to say speaking for myself, but anyway, dating did get better for me as I got older. I mean, but there's also a lot of maturity in there as well. I mean, so you can have an empire, right? And you can be older and attractive, but if you're just an asshole, that's not going to help you. You got to have some charisma. There's got to be some emotional intelligence. There's got to be a lot of good qualities about you. Otherwise, you're just going to attract superficial people. Kristen Marie, why can't I get over my ex? Oh, excuse me. Why can't I get over the guy I left my husband for and back with my husband? Okay. There is just a lot of possibly rumination there. I mean, maybe the unknown is what's killing you. I mean, you left this guy for your husband, right? So you're not cheating on your husband with this guy, but your heart belongs to this other person, right? I'm trying to think here. Like, you left this person for your husband, so what was the mindset or the decision making at that moment? And now that you're with your husband, I don't know how long you've been with him. Why do you now feel regrets or want to go back to that person since you made the choice to leave them? Rudy, I have been on here so long. Please what? I'm doing my best, Lori. I am doing my best. I'm trying. I do have another question here on Facebook. Okay. My husband thinks he can do whatever he wants, but when I want to do what I want, he wants to be an asshole about it. What should I do? I mean, you guys need to have a conversation. Maybe go to marriage counseling to figure out what's going on, because it can't be one person can't have their way and the other person not have what they're looking for, right? It's got to be a balance. So I don't know exactly the details on that. Maybe there's a history of things. Maybe he doesn't want you to have the freedom that he has because I don't know. Maybe he's cheating on you and he doesn't want you to do what he's doing. I don't know. But have you had a conversation with him to ask like why he's like that? Like he's an asshole when you want to go do your own thing. Okay, what are you doing? And does he always act that way when you ask to do that? Mamacita, thank you so much. Should I check up on him? It's been a month. That's tough to say. I don't know the circumstances of your breakup, but are you checking up on him for his sake and well-being? Or are you using that as an excuse to get in contact with him again? Be honest with yourself. Because if it's an excuse to get in contact with him again, then don't do it. My husband doesn't do anything for my birthday. And his family, moves heaven on their birthday. Have you talked to him about that? What was his reasoning why? I mean, it doesn't make any sense, right? The distribution of that. I mean, his family members, he goes out of his way, but why doesn't he do it for you? Hypothetically, I'm just going to say, because this happened to me once, I went all out on my ex-wife's birthday one time, and she hated what I did for her, and that destroyed me. I felt so bad, because I thought I was doing everything she wanted, and she didn't like any of it. So at that moment, I never did it again. Now, would I do that now at 48? No, I wouldn't do that. But did something like that happen? I'm just asking hypothetically. We didn't break up. Okay, we were about to start a relationship, and he told me he needed a month to do what? Okay, you're talking to this guy, you're about to start a relationship, and he says, I need a month? To do what? To do what? Hey, Steve, what's up? He never gave you an explanation. So for all you know, that all these red flags are just popping out of my head right now. So it sounds very shady if you ask me. I mean, if you want to have a relationship, you have to be transparent and honest with each other. So for him to say, I need a month, okay, for what? What's going on? You know, you want to say goodbye to an ex, you want to go have fun, you're having surgery, what's going on? So I don't know, my spidey sense is tingling with that. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, if I was, I think any person who was in your shoes would automatically say, okay, for what? A month for what? I think that's a genuine question. And if he's not willing to answer that for you, that says there's something up there. Maybe he's married and he's just lying because he needs a month and he's giving space to maybe go leave his wife for you or something like that. I don't know. I've heard worse. Again, why would you put your life on hold? I get that. Don't put your life on hold. He's 17. Oh, God. He's only 17. That's a Winger song, by the way. Also, you both are kids, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I would say call him and say, hey, you know, if you don't want to see me, that's fine, but what's going on? I hope you're okay. But 17, you guys shouldn't be in a serious relationship at 17. You should be putting your head in those books, focusing on school and your grades. Now I'm in dad mode. You see what you made me do? You need to be focusing on those books and yourself, and getting those credits for school. Okay. Hold on. Ashley, hold up. Marriage is so hard. You want to let go, but not at the same time. I didn't want to let go too. I mean, I got divorced, like I said, and it was a tough decision, but a necessary decision. Sorry. But yeah, like I tell everybody, if you feel that you've exhausted every option to save it, and you're the only one fighting, and the other person's not willing to meet you halfway, what other choice do you have? Tell her dad. Kurt 90, 9 years with a kid. Okay, she broke up with me by cheating, and she go fully cold turkey. I tried chasing. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Kurt. I mean, I don't know the particulars of your situation, but I mean, if for her to go cold turkey, I mean, again, nothing ever happens overnight. Maybe you guys got married young, had a kid really young. I know there's a lot of people who enter their early 30s with a midlife crisis because they've been a mother or parent at their early 20s. And I know there's like some people had this longing, like they haven't even experienced life. I've only kissed one man, one woman, and they feel like this panic that they need to go live. So again, every situation is different. I don't know if that's what happened with you. Maybe you guys fought all the time and were incompatible. That's why she left. I don't know the details. But again, for those who really want a true solution, please book a session with me. The link is on the comment page there. And also here on my TikTok page, sessions are available. I'd be more than happy to help you. YouTube is so trash, man. Wow, my God. Okay, let me block this guy. Hold up. That is so stupid. Again, if you feel like I'm ignoring your comment, I'm not. Like I said, I'm going on my multiple platforms and doing my best here. I'm just seeing the questions as they come along. Bro, she tells me she doesn't feel the same. She told me she doesn't feel the same, but I think it's not possible to stop loving somebody fast. It's very possible, dude. I see it all the time. People grow apart. People change. People change, and their wants change. I mean, they may love you, but that doesn't mean they're in love with you. Many marriages end that way because they love their spouse for being a good parent, a good provider, but they're not in love with them. Things like this happen. Is it a red flag that I don't have a lot of friends? I'm attracted to guys with good reputations. Christina. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of introverts out there, and I think there's a lot of people that have very small circles. I don't consider that a red flag. Not at all. Steve, saw my ex at the gym, spoke to me normally. Okay. Her narcissist came out in front of her friend and hurt me. Okay, you saw your ex at the gym, and then her narcissist came out in front of her friend and hurt me? What do you mean hurt you? I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. Is a difference in beliefs too much of an obstacle despite attraction and love? I don't think so. I mean, I know politics and a lot of things are now polarizing as hell, and there was at one point in life that, you know, you can respect somebody's opinion but not agree with them. It's idiocy now, man. But I don't think so. I mean, if you guys have a genuine respect for each other and understand there's going to be some obstacles with maybe family, culture, things like that, but you're willing to fight and overcome those, I don't see why not. But I'll get to your question in a second here. He deleted texts saying he loved me. I ignored them. Is he trying to get a reaction? We are in no contact. I don't know, possibly, but why don't you block him? I tell everybody post-breakup the first thing you should do is block him for your own mental health and peace. Because if you want to get over anybody, you need space and time. You need space and time away from them in order to heal and move on from somebody, okay? So if you're just rereading old conversations, keeping an eye on what he's doing, stalking his social media profile, you're only going to prolong this pain that you're in. So I wouldn't put too much mental energy into what he's doing and what he might want to be doing. That's a waste of time because you're creating a bunch of scenarios in your head when you should be focusing on you healing and moving on, right? I got a question here on Facebook. It doesn't matter. Why haven't you blocked him? I don't know how long you guys have been broken up, but why haven't you blocked him? Block them. Sierra, thank you for the follow. I have a question here. I've been divorced for a year, left alone with my children, but my children can't leave without their father. It wasn't easy for me to bear the pain, but luckily for me, I came across a traditional look. Oh, this is spam. I almost read that entire thing. That's hilarious. Okay, Facebook and YouTube have a lot of spammers. Okay, gotcha. That is hilarious. I'm not going to contact any spell doctor, okay? That is funny as hell. Oh my god. They got until I got to the end of it, okay? Yeah, they got me. Don't be laughing at me. She was normal when it was just us talking together, but her friend was there and she was different. Well, maybe her friend's trying to protect her. I don't know the particulars of why you guys broke up, CB, but maybe her friend came in to just kind of protect her from making the same mistake. I don't know. I don't know. Hello, Dolly. How do you get over infidelity as a couple? You have to go see an infidelity specialist or a counselor to help you get through that. And it's not going to be easy. There is a high success rate of people who are married that stay together, but it takes years to heal. It takes years. And you have to understand one thing moving forward is that there's no such thing as getting back to normal, because what was before the infidelity is dead. That version of that person that you once knew and fell in love with, that's dead. So you have to fall back in love with them again and see them for the person that they are, and you have to they have to gain your trust again, and that can take time and years. And if both of you aren't willing to work that long, that says a lot. Method 8, I'm doing my best. I am doing my best. Why do I look familiar? I don't know. Why do we? Her friend has influence over her. Yeah, that can be a huge deterrent there, man. Like you at least want somebody who's going to make up their own mind. But if you can't get back to normal, then what's the point? Sometimes you can't. I'm here. Where are you? Some people can. I mean, think about it. I mean, it's usually if you are in a marriage 10 years in, 5 years in, you have kids, there's more roots in the ground. That gives people more incentive to stay. Dating, I don't think that would work, possibly. It depends. Again, every situation is different. But there is a high success rate in the marriage space. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm in San Antonio, so yeah, I've probably seen you once or twice. I don't know where. I hardly go to Austin, but. Ashley's asking, should I support my husband's hobbies when he's always at the bar shooting pool? I'm starting to get tired of him always at the bar. I support his passions in full, but he's calm it down going out too much. There's got to be a balance, Ashley. I mean, it can't be all about him and you're supporting him, but what about you? What's he doing to support you? Verbally, emotionally, what's he doing? What are your interests? Again, you don't want to fall into that one-sided relationship because that's how things end up over the years just going wayward. There has to be a balance. Corpus, okay. Maybe, I don't know where, I haven't gone out in a while, but maybe, I don't know. Sorry if my message came out wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm doing the best I can here. Should refusing to share a phone password with a partner be a deal breaker? I am not a fan of that. I mean, we're all adults, and I think we're all entitled to some privacy, right? I've been in those relationships where they say, I want your password. I'm like, fine, here, there's nothing to hide. I want your location. Fine, here, there's no location. I thought it was cute. A little jealousy was kind of nice, right? Make the bedroom situation a whole lot better, but it gets tiresome after a while. I mean, how much do you have to share to prove to them you're not going to do anything? Because sometimes it's never enough. And believe it or not, the women that cheated on me when I was dating, every one of them who cheated on me were the ones who wanted my location or wanted access to my phone. They wanted to know my location so they can call their ex-boyfriend to go to the house. Oh, he's at home. You can come over now. So I'm not a fan of that. And if you're asking for that and you guys just started dating, that's a ton of insecurities you're bringing into the relationship. If your ex cheated on you, that doesn't mean the next person's going to cheat on you. If you're bringing all that trauma and that insecurity over to the new space, that's not healthy. Because that new person doesn't have to put up with that. But I don't think it's a red flag. I feel under pressure to date new people while I just talk to them. You feel under pressure? By who? The person that you're dating or talking to? I've already answered that question. Is it Carl Collection? Thank you so much. And again, if you want to book a session with me, the link is on my TikTok bio. A Stand Store link. Click on that link and you can book a 30-minute session or hour session. Or you can send me a question. Give me as much information as possible, and I'll respond with a video. The videos can be like 10 minutes long if needed. That goes for Facebook and YouTube as well. The link is in the chat. I have noticed that she's picked up narcissists from previous marriage who was told was a narcissist. I mean, we all have narcissistic traits, but there's very few people that are actually diagnosed with NPD. So there's a major difference. I just start to talk to new people, and they talk like I will marry them or date them seriously. Yeah, like I said, it can be overwhelming. Like they want more right away, or they're very pushy. They want to meet your parents, and hey, there's a wedding coming up in 6 months. Do you want to go? There's a lot of that out there, and if you ever feel pressure, don't do that. And that's what I coach guys when I tell them if you're going to go out dating. The best thing you can do is make a woman have fun during the date. There's no pressure. There's no don't put too much pressure on the date thinking this could be your next wife or husband. Just go out there and enjoy the evening. Make a woman laugh. Give her some drinks. Women love to eat. Give her some tacos. And make her laugh and have a wonderful night. Don't put too much stress on the evening. If you do, you're not going to be yourself and they're not going to want to date you again. Have fun with it. Dates are supposed to be fun. Don't put pressure on people. Is it windswept? Thank you. Let's see here. Went on date today, but keep seeing my ex face laugh aloud. Well, then you're not ready to date, man. Come on, Miguel. You've been following me for a while. You've been part of these lives for a while. I told you, if you still feel something in here in your corazon about your ex, whether it's hate, anger, love, longing, you have no business dating. You shouldn't be dating because right now you're looking for a rebound. You know better than that. Come on. How do you know if someone is a narcissist? Well, again, there's really no way to know unless they're diagnosed by a doctor. But narcissistic traits or types like they'll insult you, belittle you to make themselves feel superior. They're also infallible of being wrong. Everything is your fault, right? Everything is your fault. They've never made a mistake, and if you tell them, no, you said this, they'll come back and deny it and say, I never said that. And if I did, that's not what I meant. So they're consistently gaslighting you and showing superiority in their intellect that's above yours. Hey, Mags, what's up? The gaslighting, right, amiga? No rebounds, they do worse. That's funny. I was guys really advising coaching has helped me. Thank you, Steve. You know, I'm going to pin that. Thank you so much, Stevie. And everybody, thank you for the follows as well. Damn, I felt that punch. That was a love punch, all right? Because I give a damn. Liz Baby 69. Hey, what's up? Should refusing age? I've already answered that question, Truth. Let's see here. Can I be friends with an ex for the children's sake? You can, yeah, you can. But again, there has to be boundaries, right? I mean, whatever conversations or intimacy is making you feel uncomfortable, be sure that line's not crossed. And again, I think it's healthy for the kids to see that. You're giving them an example of how to behave later in life, God forbid, if they end up in a situation like you, where you have to co-parent. If anything, put your kids' love above all as motivation to be a great example for them to follow. Again, you can't control your partner's emotions, but do the best that you can. But again, you're being friends with your ex for the kids. You're not doing it in the hopes to get them back into your life or to have sex with them. You're doing it for the kids, right? Should I be leaving? I have no idea. Should you? So me and my guy friend were talking fine, then it escalated. He pretended to be his baby's mama. Oh, that goes back to what you're asking earlier. You're texting, right? And then he pretended to be his baby's mama while talking to you? That hurts my brain just thinking about that. I mean, I don't see why I would put up with that. I mean, that's just a huge red flag. He likes playing games to the point where he's acting like somebody else. This could escalate to further things. That's insanity, in my opinion. Yes, windswept, run. That enough should have just turned you off. That would have turned you off in the craziest way. Like, if I'm talking to somebody and they pretended to be their ex-boyfriend, that's, my God. Have you all heard about that? I've never heard about that. Okay, hey, so my hate social media, so he was displeased, didn't realize that would come up in the session. Oh, okay. How's everything? Email me. I want to know how that went. I have some thoughts on that as well. I hope I can feel better soon. I can't sleep. Why can't you sleep? Again, like I say, I urge everybody, like, if you can't sleep because your mind's thinking about your ex, I mean, if anybody has any sleep tips, I love melatonin and turning off my phone at least 2 hours ahead of time to kind of calm my brain. And then again, I have my night mask and I have like the sounds of the thunder and lightning, etc. That helps me sleep. So magnesium will help you sleep as well. Try that. Isn't email you what happened with my oh God. Yeah, rootadvice@gmail.com. Okay? I'm going to get one. I should be getting one soon. Lavender oil helps me calm down. Yeah. Is it Kenya? Thank you so much. Well, yeah, I get it, man. The breakup's new, and again, you're going through the weeds of it and the worst part of it. So just be patient with yourself, okay? I mean, what you're feeling is normal. I think a lot of people don't give themselves enough grace to allow them to process the pain. It's supposed to hurt, man. If it's just happened, it's supposed to hurt. You're supposed to cry. You're supposed to feel all that. That's the mourning. You're mourning a relationship that's over, okay? So be patient with yourself. But like anything, after a while, feeling that way can overwhelm your system. So be sure to focus on things to bring some positivity into your life. Going to the gym, lifting weights, watching a comedy, something to make you laugh, spending time with friends that support and love you. You got to be doing all that. But take care of your health post-breakup, man. Especially with us older folk, if you have high blood pressure and you're not sleeping well and you're drinking a lot, your blood pressure is going to go high. You can have a stroke. You have to take care of yourself. You have to eat right and work out. Even if you don't want to, a good workout will make you feel better with the dopamine coming in your brain. And this is what I'm going to do, everybody. Hold on 1 second. Facebook, I'm going to end the live because it's going to be 7. I'm going to be live on TikTok. So Facebook and YouTube, thank you for joining. Be sure to subscribe and follow me. Like I said, if you want to book a session with me, the link is in the chats. I'd be more than happy to help you. I'm going to do this tomorrow as well. Am I going tomorrow? Yeah. I'll do this tomorrow as well. But again, thank you for joining. Subscribe. Take care, all right? Bye-bye.